Hey everybody, thank you so much again for tuning in to Open Fire Tactical. Man, I sure do appreciate your guys' support more than you know. And I tell you that every time I make a new video, it's because I sincerely appreciate your willingness to tune into what I do out here in the desert. And it just gets to be kind of overwhelming, the responses that I get. Just just seeing what people say and which is cool. And you guys can all check them out. So they're on there. And if you want to message me, great. I encourage it. I also encourage you also that if you live out here in the Dayton area and you're new to firearms or you want to be a part of this video, reach out to me that way too through the YouTube or through this channel, and we can connect. And yeah, I'll take you out here and show you how to shoot, or maybe have you hold the phone. I thought somebody's coming over the hill. Anyway, today's video by the title is Pro Mag. So I bought a new magazine for my Mini 14, and if you guys own one of those, they're not cheap. They're 45-ish with tax and everything out the door for a 29 round. And I bought a Pro Mag for half that, so 25 bucks. And I want to see if it works. If it does, great. If it doesn't, I'll just trash it, because if I send it back to Pro Mag, they'll send me another one that's just like it. So my opinion with Pro Mag is mixed results. I've had really good magazines from Pro Mag. My M1 carbine mags, I have like 4 or 5 15 rounders, and they work phenomenally. And then I even had a 5 rounder and a 10 rounder. And I had planned on going deer hunting and taking that. And when I did take it, I was unsuccessful. But, I don't even have that magazine anymore. I think I got rid of it. But it worked fine, amazingly. But the magazines that I've bought for Mrs. Buttonhole's AR9 in the 32 capacity, I'm just going to say it, in the 32 capacity, they didn't work. They didn't work well at all. And I got a hold of Pro Mag. I mailed them back to them. They sent me 6 new ones, and they were all crap. And so I just threw them away, and I probably should have kept the springs and the followers, and I didn't. I was just disgusted with the whole thing. And those magazines for a 32 rounder is like 65 bucks to $75 a piece. And so I went with the 20s, and I've never had a problem with them. And I forgot who the manufacturer was, but I believe I bought those at Midway USA. So shout out to Larry Potterfield. Love Midway USA. I get a lot of reloading components, bullets, not so much powders. I try to buy my powder locally. And then RMR bullets I buy from them also, because I get a fantastic deal. Shipping is free, and it's cheaper than buying locally, and their products are really good. So RMR in Lewiston, Idaho, love your product, and I will pimp you as long as I'm buying from you. So I don't expect anything in return. I never do. As you guys know, I don't have sponsors. I just do this on my own accord, and it's because I love it, and I love coming out here and shooting. And if I can turn somebody on to the shooting sports, then I'm more than happy to do that. Moreover, if you're somebody that is intimidated by firearms, I'd like to ease your mind by letting you know they're just tools. Just like a chainsaw, circular saw, band saws, construct nail guns. Those things, they kind of scare me, if I'm being honest with you. And I've had a chainsaw do the jump back thing, and here comes this thing at wide open throttle, and it's unnerving, to say the least. But anyway, these are things that we can all adapt to and overcome and be skillful with it. But it takes patience, it takes diligence, and it takes practice. So with all that junk being said, I brought my Mini 14. I also brought my M1A. The Mini 14, I'm just going to shoot it and make sure that magazine is feeding like it's supposed to. And then the M1A, I have a gong set up at 200 yards, and I want to see if I can bang it. Because I was unsuccessful the last time I shot that, and that was earlier this summer at 300 yards. I shot at a 12-inch gong like 17 times and missed. So, you know, it's one of those things. So let me pause the camera, and then I'll flip it around from this other table, and we'll just do some shooting, and I'll just find something out here in the desert to shoot at. Maybe I'll shoot at that 200-yard gong. Stand by. All right, so this is the Pro Mag. It doesn't even say Pro Mag on it. If you buy a Ruger magazine, it says Ruger, and it's got the eagle on it. So I have 29 rounds in this, and I'm just going to shoot at that gong. I'm going to turn the camera around so you guys can see it, or I'll tell you what, I'll crank off like 5 or 6 with this view, and then I'll change it, and then you guys can see what it is I'm shooting at. This is a pre-2005 Mini 14, and they are different than the other ones, the newer ones. In fact, the price comparison, my dad bought this used at a gun store for like 350 bucks. So pretty crazy. But anyway, let's get to it here. Damn, I hit that steel at 200, first shot. I'm really loving this rifle. I've never done that with my AR, and that's my go-to. That is crazy. All right, that was a miss. Or was it a hit? It's swinging. That could have been, and I can't hear with my hearing protection. Hit. That's amazing. 200 yards. I can't get over that. I'm so happy with this rifle. And I'm telling you, man, ever since I replaced the rear sights, it has made all the difference in the world. Because before I did that, I couldn't hit the broadside of a barn with this thing. It was absolutely horrific. And I've said that before. I don't know why Ruger even let them leave the factory with that poor sighting system, but this is so much better. And man, I'm just rocking that steel. So let me pause the video. Weapons on safe. I'm the only one here also, but I still follow all the safety guidelines, and I encourage you guys to do the same. I'm gonna just aim it down there so you can see what's going on here. Stand by. All right, so I didn't realize we're approaching 9 minutes already, and most of that was me babbling. So here we go. I think that was a miss. That was definitely a miss. Uh-oh, what's going on now? There I'm going to call this magazine a good one. Weapons clear. Hammer down, range is safe. No issues with this Pro Mag, which is good news because I didn't want to just burn up 25 bucks. That's $25 is a lot of money to me. So let me pause the video and then I'll bust out the M1A. Stand by. All right, so now we got a few more guys here on the range, still going to follow all the safety rules and all that junk. And I'm just going to continue on now with the M1A, also known as a mini, or an M14, not a mini 14. This is the full size Big Daddy 308.
No, not spam.
Let's see what kind of damage we can do with this guy.
All meat products are
That was not a hit. Big difference between a 5.56 and a 308.
Well, you get your money tomorrow, huh?
No, I got my money Thursday.
What's that?
I got my money Thursday.
Oh, did you?
They said I couldn't get cash out until Friday. Oh, so a big checks to my daughters, right? So I'm going in tomorrow and I'm gonna buy. Well, first I'm gonna go to the coin shop and I'm gonna get 8 gold coins, right? That's probably gonna be $36,000. And then I said, then I go to the bank and get a cashier's check.
Knocked it off.
And
Killed it.
You did.
So with that being said, I guess we'll just wrap up this video. You guys, once again, thank you so very much for tuning into At Open Fire Tactical. I'm your host, Buttonhole, saying peace. Thanks again. So before I go with the, I wanted to mention the 308. I'm shooting 168 grain Hornady bullets. They're just round nosed ball ammunition, 168 grain with 42 grains of BLC2. Now that's a recipe that I've been following for years, but like I always say, if you guys are going to reload, do your homework and verify, check the Lee, check the Lyman book, check the Hornady book, RCBS. There's other loads that you can follow and look up online, but I strongly recommend that you just don't listen to this guy or anybody else on the gun range. You do your homework and find out what works for you. Obviously it works for me. I blew that stupid piece of steel right off its holder. So anyway, you guys, once again, thank you so very much for tuning in to Open Fire Tactical. I appreciate you all very much. And don't forget to comment. Let me know what else you want to see or don't want to see or whatever, but help me out, man. I need some ideas. So thanks, guys. Open Fire Tactical out.